Hello, Bingus. Hello, Mimoski. Welcome to the stream, everyone. One view, bro fell off. Hello, Lila. So the past week I have been working on completely remaking Mario 64 sound engine. During this stream you might hear some sound bugs. I am still working on fixing those. But having our own custom sound engine means it will be a lot easier to fix bugs and address issues and add new things and stuff. I need to switch to this. Troppa trippy. Definitely trippy, troppa trippy. It's not even close. Hello, Sam Memory. Can't wait for the next demo. I don't think there will be another demo. The next release will be the full game. Anyway, the sound engine rework. The sound engine is now around 80% faster than vanilla sound engine. The code is around a quarter of the size. We need much less memory. And we support 32 notes instead of 16. So now songs can be much more complex and it's not even more expensive. Yep, 80%. I kind of want this to be underwater so that the whole thing doesn't suck to walk through. She's gonna remake Buzzer. It's pretty fun and challenging. I've seen what it is, but I haven't played it. I still got a little bit of sound stuff to do. Ideally, once I'm done with it, it will allow us to add a lot more sound effects. Because in vanilla Mario 64, if you try to add sound effects, it doesn't really work. And I never knew why, and I still don't know why, but I'm sure that my rework doesn't have that issue anymore. Yes, everything you see right now is placeholder. As we try to figure out the best way to do this overworld. Well, originally I didn't even make this mod for the optimization. The optimization just kind of happened because I felt too limited by the hardware. So I don't know, it's kind of weird to me that this whole project became so much about optimization in the public eye. But I guess it was bound to happen. That's just what did well on YouTube, and that's why I kept engaging with that. Who's El Ultra? Do I know them? Why don't you ask me? Why don't you ask El Ultra? It's kind of rude to talk about people right in front of them, no? I would like to apologize to L Ultra for Leela's rudeness. Usually Leela behaves herself a little more. We keep her around. She's like the resident stream pet. Any OST wishes today? People got Case is streaming again. Hello. Now he's calling me a pet. I've done worse. I don't know why you're getting upset. What are the plans for this level? Like any new mechanics? This is the Overworld, and yes, there's tons of new mechanics. Because it's the Overworld. This is the biggest level ever. This level will have like 30 stars, something like that. Is Ultra new here or not? I don't know. Origami King OST? Avaru sounds fun. I need better access to my water. I think L Ultra is pretty new, yeah. The idea of a human calling themselves new is funny to me. That's true, Alex. I can definitely see it. Okay. So we have a bit of a problem here, that Bowser's Drill is going to be here, and the Yoshi village is going to be over here. And there kind of needs to be a good bit of space between them, otherwise it feels weird, I think. But also we don't want a lot of empty space. So we need to do something. How's Drogba's Mario coming? Drogba's Mario is finished. I am just waiting for the commissioner to tell me that he also thinks it's finished, so I can release it. L Ultra again. Lutra? Is your name Lutra? You must consider, I have heard about the Ultra 64 for so long that just seems like a normal word to me. Lutra does not seem like a name to me. Never heard of anyone called Lutra. Not L Ultra. L Ultra! Lip Ultra, true, Lip Ultra too. Some small boats with Yoshis in them. Hammocks. Okay, I think what we do is we put a bunch of trees here with hammocks in them, and that's gonna kind of separate the Bowser section here. New trust in genus of European otter. How? What the hell? How would I know that? Fake European, true. I mean, I live in Canada now, so I hope I never have to move to an EU country again. You know what I kinda don't like in video games? The fact that you spent the whole video game saving the world, but then once you save the world, you're not allowed to explore the saved world. The game's just like, yeah, let's go back to the save, and before you save the world. I think I want to change that. I want the player to like save the world and then be like, yep, this is the world now, you saved it. Look at that. Does this make this any better? I would assume not, but let's see. Seattle girlies. Seattle girlies. So this is gonna be Moshi's target practice. There isn't much here. That's going to be the entrance to the Bowser level. I kind of need this to be off to the side. We can put a few hammocks between here. Maybe let Mario climb on the trees. But this is still large and empty, and it sucks. I think maybe it would be better if I actually like had some proper mountain region here. Like if we said, okay, everything to the left of here is going to be mountainous. I think that's the way to go. Actually, I want this to be in this line here. Do you have a sketch of the overworld, or have you just been making as you go? I have a sketch of it. I just haven't opened it on stream in a while, because we already know what it's gonna look like. I always sketch my level first, I guess. Okay, the coloring doesn't matter. The coloring means nothing right now. It's not supposed to be textures. But yeah, I think it would be extremely cool if in this game, for a change, after you save the world, it doesn't reset your save file. It's just you are in the world and the world is saved. And now you're free to do whatever you want. cool looking. I kind of like this. So what music's saying after what music Badu made? That's such a bop. Badu made around 12 Overworld songs, and this is the current version that Zero Volt is working on right now. Sounds like this. This is just one of like 15 songs, Lila. The song is gonna fade whenever you walk to a different area. So the overworld is going to be like insanely full and sprawling with music. The one you're thinking of, I think it's just one of the many. I'm not sure if that's still in there. Is the stream? It's not. It's a MIDI song. But Badu used the secret technique on this one. Lila's not asking if the stream is streamed, she's asking if the song is streamed. But honestly, I shouldn't have corrected you guys. Lila being made fun of is much funnier. Especially when it's unjust. There'll be a snowy mountain peak. Yes, actually. There is a whole level like that. Although you're spending most of the time inside the castle on the mountain. What does Mario's voice sound like in German? I bet he said, "It is me, Mario," in a really formal way. Es ist ich, Mario. It's not insulting your social life. That's the sound that plays when you think about Lila's social life. I didn't say shit about you, Lila. God damn. Okay, I think it would look even better if you delete everything and replace with a low quality image of French toast. I would consider it. Why are you touching up the mesh so much? What the fuck do you think I'm doing? Are you just here to drive me insane? Is that the goal? So I think we're gonna have the guy that has this flower garden right here. Like so. It still looks so big, holy shit. Yeah, this just feels wrong. It will be something like this. Let's take a look if the skill feels right now. I played WarioWare for Game Boy recently for the first time and it was a banger. But do you have 1, 2 and 3 buttons in Blender? I don't. Okay, I think the trees here are fine. I think the walk over to Bowser's area is fine too. This could be fine. This still feels big and flat. I guess this is a little Yoshi mountain village. And the Yoshis have 2 villages on this island. I don't know which one I played. I played the one that's on an NSO. BioBag is making a lot of custom textures, but not literally every texture is custom. However, in the end, I probably will have to make every texture custom. For the reason that, like, if I want this to all be legal, I would technically need custom textures for everything. But that's something for like later, if I actually do want to make this a legal game or something. then I'll get a bunch of texture artists to help with that. I don't think it will be that much work, because a lot of them are already custom. What streamer are you watching? I'm not watching the streamer. So you're seeing how far the seconds comes in and start watching the streams that are on back in high school when you start working on the tree level. The tree level? Oh, is that course 10? Oh my god. That's like... That's beyond halfway through development. But it doesn't feel weird to think that, you know, I might be done developing the site eventually. But so far I've always finished my hacks. So I'm very confident this one is gonna get done too. Are there any mechanic-based mini-games left to the site? No, not really. I mean, if you have any good ideas, we can maybe do it, but... Some phonics have no finding explanation for this odd red coin sound. It's not really cool, but no one knew it occurred. Maybe Mario Wizard can explain. Dude, this is actually right up my alley, because I spent the last week analyzing the Mario 64 sound engine and rewriting it.
Diddy Kong Racing.
Oh wait, this is Hacker Mario 64. Hacker Mario 64 is fucked, just so you know. I've heard the sound before. This happened in Portal Mario.
What is that sound?
Red coins use the synthetically generated waves at runtime.
Bro, what was that red coin sound?
Does this happen again? It should happen on every red coin now, right?
So sick. What was that?
Does he collect another?
Ring. Why? Is this gonna sound like it? No, that one sounded normal. Why was the other?
Huh. Honestly, I'm not sure. I have removed synthetic waves from my engine a long time ago. I would imagine that's something that went wrong with that. The red coins are the only ones using the synth waves. So I bet that's related. Hacker Mario 64 is by Riona. Hacker Mario 64 is a group effort, it is not just by Riona. See, at first I thought the Hacker Mario 64 project was cool, but I became a hater over time because they kept making really weird decisions, and then they kept complaining that they can't have my code because my code is too difficult to understand or debug or something, which I think made no sense. And now I'm a bit of a hater. What's fucked about it? They're missing like all the optimizations, even when I publish them. And they have, like, they just have some weird decisions. Like, what's the goal of it, right? Like, I don't think they have a goal that they actually pursue. I think they just do things. Like, if the goal was to, okay, let's have a repository that's like keeping vanilla parity and is good for ROM hacking. Well, they haven't kept vanilla parity because you boot the game and the camera is fucked because the camera doesn't look like the vanilla camera at all. The goal is like, hey, let's make the thing that's most usable to make ROM hacks with. I think they haven't achieved that either because there's many features that they don't add because they want to keep vanilla parity. How do you still find the time to work so hard on this game and between your job and your wife and your other commitments? This is some insane work. Honestly, it's not that hard to find time for this stuff. Like, if you think about your day-to-day, I'm sure you'll find that you waste most of your free time. And that's why you don't have time to do stuff like this. That's not meant as a front. I know it sounded like a front, but this is just something general about humans. Nope, I'm literally just a normal programmer at my day job, not even a senior developer or anything like that. I could really use more money though. Why are you talking about TD Bank? Oh yeah, new video tomorrow. I know the videos are coming fast recently. It is because I find sponsors and the sponsors like make videos for us, will pay you a lot of money. So I'm like, okay, I make the video, I want the money. I gotta find a way to like record footage faster though. It always takes me so long to record all the stuff for the videos. I have to work almost like 2 days to make a video. And that is with an editor. Okay, this scale seems a lot more reasonable for the mountain town already. This is just scale 20% down. Balls in a jar. Is this a Ligma? Ligma shield on? Isn't it a little bit Crowder? What does Crowder mean? Oh yeah, I like the videos we're making too. There's multiple paths up already. So we were gonna add a wool warehouse And I think the best place for the warehouse is to go here. Is any Overworld music? It's not imported yet, but there's 12 different songs for this Overworld so far, or 8 or 9 or 10 or 13. A lot for sure. Hello Bioback, Mario. I'm just now thinking about putting the wheel warehouse here and the wool. It's gonna be Boshi's target practice. This is going to be the Mountain Yoshi village. And then this is the fuck-ass area where I don't know what to do with yet. We have a flower farm. 3 houses, right, I need 3 houses, but that's going in this area. I think the wool building works well here. And boats can be anywhere. Boshi and Market. Wait, Boshi and Market we? I have not. What is that? Boshi and... is it special? This? Market World. There's no way, dude. No, this sucks. Oh, that's cool though. Where's... I'm not clicking on that. That's cool that he's in Mario Kart World, but it sucks that Mario Kart World is also called MKW. Not a fan of that. They should change the name to accommodate me. It should be illegal to release 2 games that have the same acronym. Someone start a petition. Stop killing acronyms. Guys, what's stop killing games? Is it based or cringe? Because someone pinged me about Twitter on it, and I don't know if it's based or cringe. I just know there was some controversy with it. I don't want any explanation about it, I just want based or cringe. Both? Dang. Good old moral ambiguity, moral grayness. Based in theory and cringe in practice. I see, I see. Based in theory and cringe in practice. That sounds like fucking Jordan Peterson talking about communism. Let's make this stream not a politics stream though. I realized that we've had a lot of that recently, and I think it's not what people desire when they come here. The sex milking factory. Hello, Etherek. I set up my fish pond yesterday. Now we have 10 goldfish in there. And I hope the birds don't come and eat my fish friends. He quote tweeted a milking fetish video saying this is what they are doing to young boys in China. I don't think this is true for everyone, Mo. I don't think you could bring up me and talk about some insane shit I did. No, actually you can. Never mind. I have done plenty of insane shit in the past. Another thing about Hacker is that they use the Ultra, but they use the binary inclusion of the Ultra. So now you have a big blob of code that you can't edit. Like, come on, that is fucked. And then after doing that, saying that my code is hard to edit and shouldn't be in. Come on. The hypocrisy. There's plenty of unnecessary triangles in here. We're keeping a lot of unnecessary triangles around so we can edit this level more in the future. I think this part looks nice now, mostly, kind of. Should we maybe like pull this in a little bit so that this feels more out of sight? Honestly, yes, that's a great idea. We want this to be somewhat out of sight from the Yoshi village. I think that's nice. I feel like I'm not rage baiting you. You genuinely can't edit Laboltra and Hacker. This is it's true. You just have a big binary blob that you're gonna have to replace if you ever wanna change the OS functions. Which of course most people don't do. But it's still like giga annoying. If you do want to do it. Very sharp corner? I don't think so. Seems reasonable to me. A Yoshi Moai statue would be great. Okay, guys, I have a question for you. So, you need to help me with the thumbnail and the video. The next video is going to be about RNG in Mario 64 and how to improve it. This is a thumbnail idea, and Zena had this thumbnail idea, but I don't like it as much as this one. I also had this, and I don't really like it. Yeah, and then the title ideas I had is randomness is not random and how I fixed it. Kinda don't like it. Perfecting random number generation in brackets on the Nintendo 64. I kinda like that. The issue with randomness, very vague posting, but eh. And then the last is the perfect random function in brackets for the N64 question mark. Because we want to put hammocks between them either. Change the dice color, it should be more RNG. Okay. Wait, Brandon said I didn't put the tree line on the cliff looking but also backwards a little bit to get parallax effect. It's 3D, there's no parallax effect. Yeah, I just copy pasted your text and put it in Zena's DMs. Worst, but it's not the worst RNG in R64, huh? RNG? What's the joke? Is there some kind of RNG thing I did that I don't remember? Videos about RNG. Oh, who would understand that? I will delete that message. Clearly it was a joke. Anyway, we need a wool warehouse. What would a wool warehouse look like? Wait, is this wool? I thought wool was like from sheep. I don't know. I don't see how a randomizer would be fun for this game. That is yarn, yeah. Did we give it a name, the store? Is it gonna be a store? What is it gonna be? Maybe it should just be a Yoshi just storing wool in a place in his house. What if there's just a house and the house is full of wool, and then you talk to the Yoshi and the Yoshi's like, I'm saving wool. No. It's gonna be like a light reference. He's just saying he's gonna save up the wool because he's wanting to craft something. That's the joke. Oh no, not this unfunny Vega shit, please. Being around unfunny people is some kind of divine punishment. She's a woolly warehouse. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna give it a name at all, actually, because it doesn't really serve a purpose, right? I think we're just gonna have this be a throwaway gag. You can do anything you want, true. Did you guys know that you can program Tetris in Mario 64's music format? As in, the entire game of Tetris is literally a valid MIDI sequence in Mario 64. Let me see if I can find this. Yeah, I have the file. Death Wizard made this. This music sequence is literally Tetris. Which version of Tetris? Whichever one Death Wizard made. Imagine downloading the music sequence from Super Mario World Central, putting it into your ROM hack, and then it's just fucking Tetris. Drinks are mercy for your favorite. You could have Mario 5 Ace of Diamonds and Luigi's Poker Tail for the thumbnail. Well, that's not really what the video is about, so for that reason, I don't think that's a great idea. The video is about like finding a new RNG algorithm that uses real-world entropy as well. I kind of prefer the bigger Yoshi houses. They're much nicer than the smaller ones we had before. But I think we probably need a redesign of these houses. They look a little poopy. I export it and then I compile the game. But the Yoshi Village does feel like a decent sized overworld now. And then this is the part with the entrance to the last Bowser level where you need enough magic to get through. And this is a little bit of a walk, but I think that's fine. It sounds like you had a terrible setup, Ethag. Can you use the temperature thing to randomize the randomness even more? I do. That's how I discovered the temperature thing. Because I just did a thing and then I realized, hey, wait. This is actually using real-world entropy. Maybe even temperature would matter. Alright, now that we have this done, it is time to go back to the first overworld and make this look semi-decent. Oh, Don Coyote. It is not Easter yet. Coyote, not coyote. I keep forgetting. First of all, oops, this third wall here. So we do need there to be a third wall a little bit, so it makes sense that this is the bunny burrow, but I don't know if we need such a big third wall. Pile of dirt next to a mountain. Does this exist in the real world? Not really. Gotta log in, Ethag. Yeah, but this looks so man-made. So set up different. Yeah, I've done it before. I've made a ROM called Super Mario Bros. 64, and you can play as Luigi, Mario, Wario, or Waluigi, and each plumber has a different difficulty. Where do these caves come from? Just switch out in the overworld. Yeah, almost like I didn't actually UV map anything yet, and like I haven't actually done any visuals yet. That's crazy. I wonder why. Oh, this is kind of nice. Maybe we should go for this type of look. Maybe this shouldn't bulge outwards, but rather inwards. Like so, I guess. And then something kind of like this, always. Keaton, how long have you been at SM6 Ranking? Sorry if you've answered this question a billion times. Like 2011, I guess. Alright, let's make a wall texture. Wait. Shit, before we can move on, I kinda need to finish the mountains. As in, give the mountains like a mountain roof or something. Just so we know what they're supposed to look like in the end. How would this best work? Mario Sunshine, Delfino Plaza. How does the mountain look like here? Like this. It's like a normal mountain, and then a transition, and then that mountain. That's kind of cool looking. I think we should do something kind of like it. Yeah, like this here is cool. This mountain texture is a lot better already. We should probably use something like this here more. Kinda like that. It's not gonna work like that. Could you imagine people like joining a Bob Ross stream and like complaining that he's not done yet, like the whole time? I can imagine it very well. I don't need much imagination for that. Complaining about Bob Ross not reading chat. True. Very, very true. Okay, the mountain kinda like that works for me. Then there is a mountain around here. Oh, that's a jank-ass mountain. What the hell? Wait, this is not a full mountain. Oh no, this is an issue. What the fuck is this? This geometry makes no sense. Shit. Like, how would this ever work out? It just doesn't. Right? Would have to be all of that, and then I guess there can be like a second level of mountain here, like so. And now it kind of makes sense. When does my next painting release? Yo, Bob, we've been waiting forever. When is the next painting? Any enemies that didn't make the cut for RTYI? Oh yeah, plenty. Hello again, Caleb. I don't actually know if I use more enemies than... Actually, I have to use more enemies than a vanilla game, right? We made so many custom ones. You are bored? Well, go work on the Romic. Don't like how the walls of trees are in line with the cliffs or whatever? Yep, that's because this is not the final version. This obviously looks like garbage. You're not supposed to like it. At least not yet. If you think this is good, you're just wrong. We're still on the stage where we're making a lot of rapid changes, so finalizing any visuals right now would be very stupid. It'd be a waste of time. Oh, this is unnecessary. And this is unnecessary. You know, just like 5 minutes ago, we were talking about people joining Bob Ross's chat to complain that he's not done with the painting yet. What you did just now is kind of that. You triangulate all the faces at the end to avoid pain, or does my server do so? On export, it is all being triangulated. In Mario 64, you don't really render. Actually, I mean, you do render triangles, but you're not really. Don't worry about it. Release for this game? Is it at least going to release in this year? No, I don't. It's gonna come when it's gonna come. I'm not gonna give release dates until I know what the release date is. And I don't. The thing is, I can't release this around the same time as Nintendo releases anything, and I also can't announce a release date around the time Nintendo releases anything, because if I do, they will literally kill me. So if I release this, I have to find a period of time where Nintendo is not dropping any big announcement or releases, and that is for sure not right now. June 5th, 2025. Late 25 or early 26. Why? I'm not saying any of that stuff. There's still so many levels for Bioback to rework. You know, this reminds me of one comment I got on YouTube in a weird way, and that is, or no, like an email. They wrote me an email, and from the way the email was written, you could tell that they thought all my videos were fan fiction. Like the same way analog horror is like people making up stories, or like Ben Drowned is someone making up a story. They thought all my optimizations was just me making up technology. Yo, Okayo. The optimizations are in fact real. This guy, the email he wrote me was like, hey, you should make a video about an optimization that works like this. And it's like, that's not how any optimization works. They had just made one up because they thought it sounded cool. So Mirror's cam blurry. If you'd like, you can buy me a new webcam. Should optimize your viewers? Nah, I don't want to live my life like that. What part of the world is this? Part 12. So I'm gonna do a video about how Remote Mars makes the game run better. True. There has to be like a funny troll idea for April 1st like that. Look guys, I unstretched the UVs. Isn't that amazing? Alright, so only 2 mountainous areas remain. Well, kinda only one. And it's this big one here, with the volcano. This one's tough to work with, holy shit. Was hilarious. Don't think I ever commented that. Oh, the Moist Critical one? I mean the YouTube commentary one. I don't want to name any names. Don't want to start a beef here. Actually, you know what? If I had beef with Moist Critical, that would go hard. I would become so famous. But I don't think I want beef with him. I think I would probably like him, I just hate his videos. It's really funny how Case is afraid to realize. I am afraid to realize. The market engine is optimized, question mark? Would be possible to make it have 3D characters and 60 FPS? 3D characters is going to be very tough if you want them to look decent. 60 FPS in single player for sure. See, he makes a parody of my videos instead? No! But yes, that would be funny. You make an account called Dry Accepting and have the exact opposite opinion of what he does. Okay, the direct opposite opinion of what he does is like... See, his opinion is like you take the most popular opinion on a topic, or like you take all the opinions on a topic and average them out. The opposite of that would be like both extreme opinions at the same time. So like Twitter, exactly like Twitter. You've ever seen like the Nazi fanboys like that? That would be like the opposite of Moist Critical Opinion. Nazi fanboys. The Content Corp situation is rather unremarkable. Didn't do anything. Furry Nazi fanboys are probably the most hilarious development in the last couple of years. Yeah, that's like a Moist Critical opposite. Furry Nazi fanboys. Furry Nazi fanboys truly sounds insane. There has to be like an element of role-playing to it, right? Like most of them aren't serious, they're just role-playing. And they don't realize some people are serious about it, right? How old are you? 30? 29, actually? Where you get your textures from? Do you make them yourself? A mix of all of it. This is streamed. I don't know. What the hell is going on? Chats are pissed because the videos level head and restaurant. What are you talking about? Oh, we're out of music. Oh, you're talking about Content Cop. Please only get the knights. No! Oh, Don Coyote, that's like 4 years of history. In German history class, all you really learn about is how bad Hitler was. That's like all we talked about in history class. The way you're taught the subject is actually insane, I think. When he edits the overall blender for he has also a lot of music. What? Huh? I am confused. Japan attacked us, we attacked back, and then proceeded to ally with the other countries and basically win the war. Yeah, that seems pretty accurate. You had fucking nuclear bombs. At that point, it was GG. No, German propaganda right now is very anti-German. As in, like, almost like Germany is real evil and we need to make up to the world what we've done to them. At least that's how it was when I was in school. No Bismarck or Frederick the Great in German history. There's a statue of Bismarck in my hometown, but I don't know who it is. It is still like that? That's what I thought. We need new OST. Any wishes for today? Well, you did start both world wars. That's what you learn in school. I mean, that's probably true. I'm not saying, oh, you learned it in school, that's why it's not true. I'm saying history is always written by the winner. If I read anything in history, I automatically do not really believe it. Okay, wait, that's sounding wrong. Of course, I believe most of it, but I'm guessing it's mixed in with a lot of propaganda. Super Paper Mario. Okay, that's the Super Paper Mario. I think actually I have a very good point to illustrate that. Is I don't think like in American school you learn a lot of like what Americans did to the Indians, right? Even though it's obviously very bad and everyone knows that. Because like history is written by the winners. Oh, really? Okay, never mind. Maybe I'm wrong, Holly. Can't learn anything about native organs, especially the math desk, cosplay realization. It's extremely downplayed. What? Now I hear two complete opposite opinions. They made a big meal with the Indians who taught them their secrets and offered their land. Yeah, and then they called it Thanksgiving, because everyone was so nice and friendly to each other. And we still celebrate that until today. Song request? I didn't see it. Oh, Zelda wrote one. Alright, Zelda. Let's do this one. See ya, Ethak. There's a ladybug on my screen. Who let a ladybug in my house? Sorry, being written by anyone else, we show our instructor like we were the losers. Wait, what? Oh, I see. I see, Minnie. Anyway, I think maybe a better way to say what I believe is something along the lines of anytime there is people in power that have an interest in rewriting history, they are going to rewrite history. So maybe don't trust too much or assume for truth what an institution backed by a huge government power is going to tell you. Alright, so I think we have the basic mountains done now. Well, alright, we need to go back to exporting area 1 into castle grounds. And then we can start making the textures. Alright, there we go. Very nice. It is a problem that I can just see. And actually, no, it's not. That's fine. It's fine. It's perfectly fine. It is supposed to be like that. Is the walking sound fine? Yeah, I think that's the standard walking sound. Anyway, I think a cool way to make these walls look is to have like a little bit of plant material on it. Oh, by the way, I noticed what the issue with the coin sound here was. It's whenever the Goomba bunnies jump, all sound cease. Look at this. This is what the bug is. People complained about this in the demo. Okay, that's a different problem. I can figure it out, don't worry. Do I like that some of these walls are not perfectly even? Do we make this a different material? I kinda don't like that these walls are not perfectly even. But this part looks very cool actually. It's just that this part doesn't look good. Or it looks exhausting to deal with. The little ledge here is great actually. I think I want the ledge everywhere. What if I turned this and then made this go in here? Doesn't really work. I think we need to delete this fully and do something else entirely. Maybe there can be something wooden here. Something man-made. How big is this? 250. Oh yeah, that looks so much better. Instantly. Now what to put here? Big boulder? kind of like Big Boulder. Yeah, I'm not hating it right now. I think it can work. Now, for this material, we need to do something else entirely. Actually, let's just create this on top of the old material. That will make my life easier. Did my stream chat die, or did y'all just stop typing 13 minutes ago and I scrolled up? My stream chat hung. Oh my god, I was so scrolled up, I completely missed chat for 13 minutes. Cool. What is my thought about ladders? As in a ladder to climb on? They're pretty practical. Do I think ladders are a good idea from R64? No. Curiosity, how long was it between you meeting Zena and moving to Canada? As I'm also in a long distance relationship, so it would be nice to know. Okay, before I answer that, you have to know I am completely reckless. I just do what I feel like without thinking about it much. I think we first started talking like early 2020, and then I moved to Canada in November 2021. Maybe it was shorter. She came to Germany around like a year after we started talking. Pick a direction and work. I mean, I don't know if that's generally applicable. I don't know, I've never been in the situation where I had no direction in life. I'm visiting before I move. Yeah, I hate traveling, so we made her visit instead, and then I moved right away without ever visiting. When I got all these textures, video games. My thick Canadian accent, yes, of course. I have a Canadian accent, not a German one. I'm American, she's Australian, I'm not making an Australian come to America. I see, I see. I don't know, do you even have the means to just move to Australia? Because I mean, yeah, I guess there isn't, like, if you're with her and you can tell that it's working out, like, fuck it, just move there, I guess. What's the hold up? Getting a visa for residency in this fuck-ass country is hell. Oh, are you trying to get a visa so you can stay there for a little bit? Yeah, dude, imagine if England was still in the EU. Your life would be so easy. You actually got ruined by Brexit. Oh my god. Residency visa means you don't have to leave. Ow. I see. It's called a residency permit here. So I have a permanent residency permit, and in 2 months I can take the citizenship test, and then I will be a Canadian citizen, if I pass. The English wrecking themselves all the Brexit was so funny, little did I know. Probably just gonna have to marry her, and yeah. I also just went to Canada and married Zena. It was just easier that way. This is inappropriate, but like, never mind. Never mind. Textures are from a texture CD I found on archive.com called 1078 textures. True. I move what I think, but then I would know if she's the woman I want to spend my life with. I see. I don't know, I wasn't scared about moving to Canada. My synapses just fire differently, I guess. For me it was just like, yeah, I guess that's what I'll do. Like, that's clearly the optimal decision, I'll just do that. Bro, the cliffhanger. Okay, fine. It was like you were saying, oh, it's so hard to get a permit to move to Brexit, and my question was gonna be, really, how brown are you? Because, like, I imagine that's gotta be it, right? Because that's what Brexit was all about. There, that was the cliffhanger. You've never flown before? Dang. But yeah, actually, how are you gonna be able to move to England unless you like marry her? She wants you to do a domestic flight before you visit. Your sister is hysteric for no reason. A domestic flight is not different from an international one. Imagine the English don't like the French. Oh, right. I had not considered that, but yes, there is a whole thing there. It's not hysterical, I just want you to fly with someone before I fly on my own. No, it's nonsense. Flying's not different from getting in a bus. Are you scared to get in a bus? Okay, well, it's slightly different, but like, not that different. You've ever driven a bus before? Congrats, you are also capable of flying. Oh, that sucks, Biomag. But it's also very funny. Scared to do anything? I have severe anxiety. Well, that's a wrong approach. Why are you thinking about how you're going to be anxious? Just think about what the correct thing to do is and then turn off and just do it. You know, just fucking lock in. Stop thinking about it. That's what I do. Ich bin gerade aus Stuttgart eingeflogen und meine Arme sind völlig erledigt. I don't get it. What is this? Allegedly, the Canadian accent is when people say eh and a boot, but no one says a boot. I've never met anyone who says a boot, but there is this one YouTuber who is like, guys, I'm Canadian and I'm gonna explain Canada to you, and he says a boot every single time. And I look at that and like, this guy is trying so hard to look Canadian. It is so god-awful to listen to. Alright, Keaton. Good to know. Canadian maxing, yeah. Wow, this looks so bad. I need the UV Mavic plugin that Biobec sent me a couple days ago. Do Canadians say sorry in your experience? No. Sorry. No. Sorry about that. No, what? You know what Canadians do love to say? They love to say, hello, how are you? I'm good, how are you? Yep, I just found it on our DMs. Wait, drag and drop into Blender? What? That didn't work. Need to, oh, I see. How do you install this? Use the install drop down menu, top right, and drag and drop an extension.zip package. Really? Huh? Into Blender. Edit preferences, add-on, install. That's what I did. I'm just not sure which one of these files I need to install. Maybe in it? Nope. I know I can just drop it into the extensions folder. I will just do that. This is nonsense. I tried to learn a new skill, but it didn't work. So now I will do it my boomer way. My boomer way requires a restart. A zip file? I couldn't pick the zip file on the install button. I want to tell people I'm gonna get locked into a 5-hour conversation about Trump. How does the straight functionality work? What if I click these and hit straight? Whoops. Ooh, okay. Okay. Got this. Oh, I have to do something about this. It's gonna be unworkable. What the hell is that part? Oh, don't know, don't care right now. Alright, moment of truth. Does it work? Multiple edge loops. Try doing unwrap from the advanced spot by the default unwrap usually. Doesn't really do a difference here. Oh, I need to also remove this. Still multiple edge loops. I see, this would also be an issue. You need to select the whole thing first. How does it know which edge I want to straight along? If I did that. Yeah, see, it only selects one side here. the multiple edge loops. Okay. What about just the lower half here? Or the upper half? Okay, okay. Alright. Okay, that's where the limit is. It is fixable, I think. Do you load each column of the map by itself and Mars in it? Yes. It's like one continuous line on the UM frustrating. Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh, it marked the seam here. What if I do this? Oh, wait, yes. Clear sharp. Clear seam. It added the seam back. Okay. Didn't add a seam back this time. I think now it's solvable though. Look at that. Should I do the same when I have too many friends on Twitter? Oh. I don't really use Twitter or Blue Sky or whatever. See, the thing is, I used Twitter back when, just to like post whatever the fuck I was on my mind when I felt like it, and then my Twitter got so famous that I'm no longer feeling comfortable to do so. Because now I have too many eyes looking and I can't just post insane shit. So I switched to posting insane shit on LinkedIn. So now I have my free LinkedIn fans reading my stupid insane stuff. LinkedIn, yeah, LinkedIn is my social media of choice now. This guy's Twitter without the toxicity. Just give it a few days, a few months. Me Worse was great. It's not a judgment I'm worried about, it's the fact that my fame online is linked, and that my income is linked to my fame online. And if I post something stupid and people like me less for it, it's gonna reduce my income, you know? I make a blueprint in Photoshop, usually. A very crude drawing. You know, people can just AI you into saying, yeah, that's actually going to be so crazy. Once AI is good enough that you can deepfake anything, it also gives you plausible deniability for anyone recording you doing something awful. You could literally like spit on a homeless person and be like, yep, that's AI. I didn't do that. Then again, people believed literal screenshots of a conversation to be irrefutable proof with many other accusations online before. So maybe people will also believe every AI generated video of people doing awful stuff before. It's not what I would call cool. Maybe cool is the wrong word. You'd have to have multiple POV to prove it. Okay, but you can also AI generate it from multiple points of view. Alright, I think I need to generate a texture myself. Something like this is what I'm looking for, actually. That looks terrible, I think. Maybe this is not what we want for Yoshi's Island. We're probably going to start trying to use AI to fake evidence in court. True. Turd. Fuck you. Sorry. It's rude. I want to eat a Kinder egg. You ever get that? You just sit somewhere and you're like, I want to eat this. And then you don't have it available to you and you're just sad. Oh yeah, the super high risk wall. I think this could be a decent looking wall texture. There is potential here. Alright, I think this is a more reasonable aesthetic for this. Text just too big. I blame Leela. Imagine being the voice actor from R64 and having to do Yahoo Yippee Oof and so long Gabe Bolsa being your entire script. True. He did a few more, but those more ended up Melee. There's probably like 10-15 voice clips Charles recorded for that game that we never got to hear. Oh, that looks juicy. Oh, that's nice. I like this a lot. What do you think? That's satisfying. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Doesn't look repetitive at all either. Texture's a big improvement. The old texture was never there. Alright, let's try to get something going for the sand. Like what? They're trying to keep you gooning, dude. On Instagram, when I see a woman account, I instantly block it at this point. Because I know that if I look at women on Instagram, I'm gonna get like 1 million porn. I don't hate women, it's just looking at anything a woman did on Instagram is dangerous, because if you do, you're gonna get a bunch of porn. And I don't want to get a bunch of porn. The algorithm knows each person's fetish. Interesting. Okay, if the algorithm knows my fetish, then how come every time I Google for a Mario character, I get fucking Yoshi inflation and like feet? I feel like the algorithm doesn't know me very well. It knows, it knows, it knows. No! Freud predicted this. Freud? No, Freud is all about like wanting to do your parents, not fictional characters. Oh, it's predicting, I see. There's a lot of nice wavy sand patterns here, and I think we want one of those. But multi-texture was something that's less wavy, more noisy. Are you going to add floating platforms? Why? How did you start learning code when you was a baby noob? I never learned to code. I was just born with the ability to code. And people don't believe me when I say this, but it is true. Okay, we have a problem with I4, and that is that the range of it is kind of poopy. So what if we could rescale the range somehow? What is this in the UV editor sidebar? UniV. Edit the color curve in Photoshop. There's the guy attracted to the fire spitter bolt. That is fucking weird. The problem is not the color curve. The problem is that I4 has very coarse colors. And if you look at something like this, all this detail is going to be lost to quantization. So yes, I can edit the color curves, but there's still the detail is going to be gone. Unless I somehow rescale this in the combiner. Which I'm not sure how I would even achieve that. You can definitely rescale the range. You can, for example, multiply it by 0.5 and then add 0.5. Now you've rescaled the stage from 0 to 100 to 50 to 100, right? So you have twice as much precision in that extra 50 range. So the way I'm thinking of doing it is if I subtract primitive color, or maybe if I add primitive color and then multiply it with something, it works. Your extra bright combiner. Not sure I remember that, to be honest. Can I optimize your fucking life? No, that's up to you. What if... Okay, I have an idea. Texture 0 alpha here, that's the sand one. Never mind, that doesn't work. Texture 1 color. Minus combine color. Texture 1 is slurping. Between 1 and primitive color. Primitive color becomes... Are we still subtracting it? We are. Oh right, we're subtracting color 1. So we want this to be like orangey. And then grass testy is gonna become a different texture. Much more contrast. Let's fix your iconry, you're gonna lose the detail anyway. No, the detail is all there now. This way, instead of like a lot of coarseness on the small range, we have the coarseness on a much bigger range, right? The opposite. Something like this is what I'm gonna do. This is supposed to disappear entirely at 1. Okay, yeah, now it's entirely gone. You see how the detail is now all there, but we can control like how much of it shows up. Yeah, it looks terrible though. But I think something like this could work. Yeah, so awful. Isa comes in here and says, yeah, so awful. Could also have a lure between env and prim. And then how is it still looking like this? What? I do think the texture is just awful and we need a different one. Pizza sand. Are you looking for a better sand texture? I'm looking for a sand combiner. It's kind of not a thing you can just solve with a texture. That's the problem. Did you clip me saying the thing just now? Is that the clip? Okay, yeah, this sound is terrible. What if we just do something more normal? I can't just not have any detail here. The text is way too big for that. But every time I add detail, it just looks so terrible. Like, fuck. Tough to get right. Now it's glowing again. Maybe this combiner isn't the right choice. Maybe it's this texture here. How calm looking. There's no Photoshop, is that? I don't know. It's Photoshop. This is kind of not awful. And I would kind of like this to be on top of the normal one. So what if we did something like this? And now my texture is invisible. What the hell? What? Oh wait, my textures are inverted. Ugh. This is what I wanted. There we go. Ah. Oh yeah, this is way better. This gives me the control I wanted. Should this maybe be scaled a bit smaller? Disclaimer, not final product. Okay, this is very cool, and there's actually something else we could do to this combiner. And this multiply with shade color alpha here. And then what we can do is multiply alpha with this. And this allows us to add more or less detail on places. So for example, if we wanted this to look cornea, we could do that. Or if we wanted to look something to look smoother, we could do it. Like this, for example, I think it should look way more like that. Same here. Same here. And maybe we want the hill to look smoother. Let's see if that feels right. Of course. Shoutouts to Leela. Every time that error message happens after doing a multi-texture, that's Leela's fault. You can switch to watching the YouTube stream when the ads play, then go back to Switch when they're over. I think this scent looks pretty nice. What do you think? And then here the scent is nice and smooth. And here it's very grainy. It's kind of a cool effect. What do you mean, what just happened? What happened? Are you surprised that the sand looks good, or...? Colors on the emulator inverted randomly? Oh. Fuck you, Asa. This is how I will release it. And I will make you play it. Okay, what texture do we try next? I kind of want to do the boxes, and I kind of want to do the pier. Isn't it crazy that people were saying the overworld looked good before, and now look at this? It actually looks like semi-decent now, and all we did was add 2 textures. It's still complete garbage. The contrast between sand and wall is a bit jarring. Why? I thought it was nice. Anyway, the next thing we should do is these here and the water. But to be honest, I'm done with this stream for today. I really want to finish my sound allocation today, and maybe tomorrow I can finish my sound DMA, and then my sound stuff is finally done. After all that work. Yep, I'll see you guys next stream. Bye bye.